But let's say that's not where you want to be, right? First of all, I think it's extremely important to be able to go on, and you should be lucky enough to be able to go to work every day and look forward to doing that. Even if you're tired, so this is very, very important. The second one is, when I was growing up in financial industry, there were no formal mentoring. So my way of mentoring, and I've mentored a lot of people without realizing that I was mentoring them. I was basically helping them to move along in a conversation. Conversation in a corner, conversation in my office, conversation, during the problem solving. And they all told me that by doing that, I helped them to move up, and they learned just by example. So now I do know women, very unfortunate. I mean, a lot of men helped me in me moving up, but I know, unfortunately, some senior women that are not willing to do it for others. Don't know why, never figured it out. It's not just my opinion. I mean, I had a lot of conversations with my colleagues or my friends. Again, it could be done because it's so few of them, and they want to keep it as a few. I don't know. But again, it's very different. So I think that it's extremely important, one, to network. I made this huge mistake in not doing out-of-box networking. So you're right, I was busy, I was working around the clock, I had my kids, I was very happy where I was. I was not looking for other things to do. And I think that is a mistake. I know women that put networking on their calendar just like they put appointments on their calendar. And when things don't go your way, when things go wrong, they have people to go to and talk about these issues. So when I moved from Salomon to Goldman, right, I grew up at Salomon. And yes, I was in the right place, but I grew up in that firm. So everybody knew me. As firm was growing, I was growing. And so I probably knew every person at the firm, even though it was a very large firm. When I moved to Goldman, I was a new kid on the block. I came in a very senior position, and I did not know anyone. So that club that was existing there on my level, I was not a member of that club, and I think that it hurt me in a lot of ways. It was my responsibility to go out and to look out and try to meet people outside of our division, outside of my specialty, outside, just like I knew at Salomon. But I never had to do it, and I did not have a mentor who would say to me, guess what, you need to do that. Networking is extremely important.
Yeah. Sofie, let me ask, because you have such incredible advice that you're leaving with us today, that you're sharing with us today. What do you believe women are doing right today in business? What do you believe women are doing right today?
Yeah. I think that what's happening, it changed so much. And the reason I know that is because of the organizations I belong to. Networking was never taught. Nobody was saying to people, you have to network. There were no movement to elevate women, right? I mean, Wall Street was men's world. So administrative assistants were women, and then the rest of the companies were men. Again, I was lucky it did not affect me because I happened to be in there. I was the fifth managing director the fifth woman to be appointed to managing director in a firm that was 100 years old. So you realize, it was this is very different now. For example, NASDAQ just announced that they will require for all of their companies that are being listed on NASDAQ that they need to have diversity, that they need to have women, and they need to have people of different colors, they need to have people of different cultures and backgrounds. That was never a movement when I was growing up. So the 100 women in finance, if any of the listeners in finance, I absolutely advise you to join that organization because they really trying to help women, and they really put emphasis on elevating women and doing the right stuff. If you're not in financial industry, there is another organization I belong to, which is called Elevate with 2 L's, so it's ELL. It started as a Goldman Sachs women's organization, and it used to be called 25 Broads because we worked on Broad Street, and it became a very different organization after it was sold to somebody else. But it's outstanding for younger women, for younger professionals in almost any profession. They have roundtable, and they very, very, very good in trying to come up with what is it that needs to be helped. What is it women need to help with. So I think that it's a great time for women, but you have to be motivated and you have to put yourself out there. As Valda was saying, you have to go and say, can you help me? I would like to. And people do that. When you go to networking events, I have young ladies. Some are just very shy standing in the corner, and some coming up and saying, can I talk to you? That's all it takes.
Well, unfortunately, we're pretty much at the end because there's just so much. We need to have you back so you can tell us some more, and we'll get you to talk about being in Hong Kong, one of my favorite places on the planet.
Oh, yes. Great experience. I would love to.
But before we go, since we're committed to elevating the next generation of women in leadership, and obviously you are involved with organizations that help to elevate women, what words of wisdom would you share to inspire our listeners to continue to level up? What words would you say to people out there who are thinking, well, I'm not her and I don't have this skill? Or what would you say to them?
Well, you know what? Complaining does not help. What you need to do is, no, right? I don't know.
Right.
I mean, do you know right? So you have to be, you have to overcome your fear. It is fearful. It is scary. It is, you're going to be nervous, but that's okay. Just take the first step and believe in yourself and try to be very, very good to yourself. And at the same time, try to understand your values and your pros and cons, and try to stuff that you do well, try to do them better and go after that. So I think that one of the things that men are very different from women. Man comes for an interview and they say to him, have you, can you do X, Y, Z? And he's never done it in his life. And he said, absolutely. And woman comes to the interview. The women are very black and white in that and said, well, I didn't do exactly that, but I think I can do it. Don't think. Say, I can do it. And then learn and then work hard and ask people around you, because most of the time, 99% of the people want to help. And just if you go in with that and you say, I need help, could you recommend a book, a class, a person, or anything else? People will do it for you. I think that, but you have to take the first step, right? People are not going to come looking for you.
Okay.
That is, and fear, just overcome your fear.
Sofie, I know that you also offer to coach women. If any of our listeners would like some coaching, what's the best way? I know that you're on LinkedIn. Is that your best way for people to reach you?
Yes, absolutely. Yes, please connect with me. Tell me that you've listened to this podcast. That's how you heard about me. I will be happy to help with any questions, any suggestions, recommendations, introductions, whatever it takes, or just a conversation.
Oh, wow. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Sofie, you're amazing. You're amazing. You're amazing. I wish I had known you earlier when I was looking for somebody who could give a sister a hand up, because I think you would have given me one. Thank you. Thank you.
It's never too late, and I'm so happy that you invited me, and I will be very happy to help in any way I can, because it gives me, satisfaction too.
Thank
you. So it's a two-way street. Thank you so much, ladies.
Thank you.
Thank you. And thank you everyone out there who's been listening in, because we have definitely had someone who is just the epitome of what we're trying to do. She gives practical content that inspires, and she has been elevating this generation and the next generations. Sofie Katzap is just amazing. And if you need to follow up with her, if you have any problems at all about how to reach her, then feel free to reach out to me, Valda at valdaford.com, or Rochelle.
I'm Rochelle at rochellerice.com.
And we are here to elevate you. We hope that you will be here next time as we have even more people who lift us up with their words, their stories, and their desire to improve the world. Talk to you soon.